We'll go ahead and start the review, chat. So how many of you, I'm actually going to give a question. So obviously this has been a very popular review series doing these Spider-Man reviews. How many of you remember the first appearance of Mysterio in the animated series? Because it is very fucking simple. Like, apparently, like, people love to do this adaptation. I guess it is popular with Mysterio always pretending to be the hero at first, because they did it in the original comics and they do it here. I don't know if they did in the Spectacular Spider-Man. That was the whole crux of kind of Spider-Man Far From Home, which I enjoyed that so much. But it was funny. It's like, oh, just seeing me here again and just like not being as good as Far From Home. I was like, oh, it's kind of a little disappointing. But overall, still a fun episode. There's no question. The Menace of Mysterio. 2-9, then my internet keeps going crazy and I have to read. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So maybe I do. Nice. Yeah. But no, it was a fun episode nonetheless, chap. So we got to get into it, chap. We got to go and get into it. Joey, I honestly don't remember him in this cartoon, but I haven't seen this show since the air. I think he makes a few appearances. I think he's in this one, and I think he's in the Sinister Six, and I think that's about it. Other than that, I don't think he has like a secondary episode. Maybe he's work. Maybe he just become mad. Does he work for Dormammu at one point? I don't remember. Maybe he actually becomes magic. It's been a while. But chat, we find ourselves at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, chat, and it is a dark and stormy night. The security guards, they're on watch. And they're watching the new Egyptian exhibit. All these new fancy jewels and sarcophagi, chat. They gotta keep an eye on this stuff. It's expensive. But who's there in the museum at the same time? It's Spider-Man. Spider-Man's there, and he's stealing all the jewels. And they're seeing this on the security camera. It's like, what's Spider-Man doing? Why is he stealing all this stuff? And it's like, guys, you gotta go out there and stop him. He's like, fucking stop. He fought a lizard man, he fought robots, and he fought a crazy scientist with mechanical hentai arms. I'm 45 years old, 250 goddamn pounds. What am I gonna do to him? What am I gonna do to him? I'm gonna be doing nothing. And so you gotta do something, man. It's part of just like, fuck, and they go after him, chap. And of course, as you expect, Spider-Man, he just steals all these goddamn jewels. And they're like, Spider-Man, please don't do that. And he's like, fuck you. And he punches the shit out of them, and he webs them all up, and he escapes, and he gives a little wave to the camera just to let him know that Spider-Man was the one that robbed this place. And they go, I can't believe Spider-Man did it. One of the security guards, the big one, chat, he had a heart attack, dead. And they all blame Spider-Man. He's dead, chat. So, who did it? Don't do any reveals. Don't spoil it yet. People don't know. Maybe it was Spider-Man the whole time. And now, chat, it's the morning, and we're in the bedroom of Peter Parker, and he's just waking up, and he smells those wheat cakes cooking. He could smell a wheat cake from a mile away. Aunt May has perfected the recipe, chat. But here's a ring on the phone, and he picks us up. And I want to get into the scene, chat, because I'm like, I can't believe they had this. I was like, you clever devils. He answered the phone, chat, and who's calling him on the line? Mary Jane Watson. And we are just seeing Mary Jane Watson in the scene, chat, just fucking stretching and showing off every single curve that she has. I mean, she is just like, look at my butt, look at my breasts, look at these goddamn hips. It was like, wow, okay, cartoons. I see what you're doing here. And she's just talking to Peter as she's doing her morning workout. And she's like, Pete, you know, I really want to thank you again for tutoring me in physics. It's been a great help. She's very flexible, very flexible. Getting loose for her date with Peter. And she's like, Pete, hey, I really appreciate you helping me with my physics. I'm a theater major, but hey, gotta take these courses. They're so hard. And Peter's like, no, hey, no problem. No problem at all. And she's like, you know what? I really liked our time. We went on that blind date. I thought it was really cute. Do you want to go on a second date? Do you want to go with me to the movies and get dinner? And he's like, absolutely, Mary. And he's just fucking hop on the walls, chat. He is erect. He is definitely erect. And he's on his fucking ceiling fan. He's just spinning around. And Mary Jane's so cool and stretching, chat, just showing off it's a cartoon. Why? Hey, Tiger. Hey, Tiger. That's what she says. Hey, Tiger. And she goes, well, it's great. Can't wait to see it tomorrow night. He goes, hell yeah. Tomorrow night sounds good. And then she handed the phone. He's like, whoa, and the fucking ceiling collapses on him. He's like, oh, I have to pay for that now. And then he goes downstairs, chat. He smells those wheat cakes. We got that internal monologue. Web shooter refill. It's been emptied now. It's been emptied at this moment. He'll fill it back later tonight. Then he's going downstairs, chat, because he smells those wheat cakes are cooking. And Aunt May, she's watching the news. She's like, Peter, have you seen this shit? Spider-Man robbed the Metropolitan Museum of Art. He's like, what? And he's watching, chat, and they're showing the security cam footage on J3J Jonah Jameson's network. Might as well be the Fox News of the Spider-Man world, chat. And they're showing this off. And he's like, yeah, he stole all these jewels. And he's like, I always knew he was a menace. That JJ's right. And Peter's like, God damn it. And one good thing happens to me, and then like a 10 times, 10 more bad things happen to me right after. 10 times worse, chat. And he fucking leaves. He's stuffing himself with wheat cakes at this point. He's like, I don't want to know, but I'm going to head over there. I'm going to head over to the Metropolitan Museum and see what all the hubbub is about. And he swings over his Spider-Man ship and he changes back into his civilian clothes. And he goes in, taking all the pictures. And who's there, Chad? J. Jonah Jameson. He's like, yeah, take all the pictures, Parker. I want to get all this evidence together, do an expose on what a menace Spider-Man is. But there's one other person there, chat. There is a police detective who I think she's a recurring character throughout the show. What's her name? I forget her name. Lieutenant Terry Lee. Her name is Lieutenant Terry. I think she shows up several times throughout the series, chat. I think this is her. Ed Asner, that's right. Ed Asner, fucking the old man from Up, chat. It's that guy. That's who's playing Jay. He does a good job. He's probably one of the best parts of the show in terms of voice acting. Terry Lee, and she's like, something just doesn't feel right about this. It just feels weird. And Peter's like, I agree. And he goes off to the section that's been kind of like taped off, chat. It's like no one enters where Spider-Man was. And he notices the webbing. He's like, this webbing's still here, but it hasn't dissolved. That's odd. And Terry Lee's like, hey, you're tampering with evidence, Parker. It's Terry Lee, chat. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. I just, you taking pictures, and I saw this. And she goes, that's evidence. What? And he's like, well, I noticed something. She's like, okay, well, tell me what you noticed. And he's like, well, Spider-Man's webbing, like I've known the guy, I've taken pictures of him for years. Spider-Man's webbing typically dissolves in like a couple hours. This is still here. And she goes, huh, that is weird. Maybe he's using a new formula. He goes, I don't know. It'd be kind of weird for him to change. He's like, it's a good point, Parker. She fucking pockets that web fluid, chat. She puts in a little baggie. It's like, we'll take this back to headquarters and analyze it. But then, chat, when they're talking, having the conversation, just about to get Peter on a tampering with evidence, they hear someone fucking talking. And there's some explosions happening in the other room. They go over there chatting. Who's before them? Fucking Mysterio. And Big Dick Mysterio, chat. He's out there and he's saying, don't worry, everybody. I'm Mysterio. Spider-Man is a menace to society. I, of course, will stop him and his evil actions. You have my word. And JJ's like, you're just another fucking costume freak. And he's like, am I, JJ? Am I? Fucking snaps his finger, chat. And it's like, ah! And then the ceiling of the museum starts crumbling down. Everyone goes, holy shit! And he just goes, ah! And he goes up into the sky. And everyone goes, and they look back up and it's fine. The ceiling is perfectly fine. They go, that was fucking weird. What the hell was that about? And JJ's like, I don't care. That was a hell of a performance. And he's going after Spider-Man. That's all I care about. He's a menace, as you know. And then later that night, chat, Peter, he's just swinging around. He's like, God damn it. So now I got this guy, this supposed hero, who's claiming he's going to come after me. And, I have this fake Spider-Man who's stealing stuff. Like, this is not going well. And then, Chad, he hears over the radio, apparently, during the J3 broadcast, that a Spider-Man is stealing stuff at the New York Mall. He's like, God damn it, I'm going to stop this guy for good. And he goes over to the New York Mall, Chad. He doesn't find Spider-Man, but what he does find is Mysterio. Mysterio goes, don't worry, everybody. I banished Spider-Man from this area, but then Spider-Man shows up, and he's like, oh, there he is! And it's like, I'm gonna get you, so we're gonna have, if you follow me to the Brooklyn Bridge, we'll have our climactic battle if you follow the yellow brick road. And Spider-Man goes like, okay. He fucking just goes up there, Chase starts falling, it's a goddamn brick wall. He goes, what the fuck? And then Spider-Man's realizing, he's like, it's funny, like my spider sense doesn't go off when he's doing these certain things. I wonder why that is. These illusions that he's creating. Interesting. And so Spider-Man, he just fucking goes to the Brooklyn Bridge, Chad. He's just swinging around. And he goes like, why did this guy tell me to go to the Brooklyn Bridge? What is this? But Mysterio, he's just fucking up there, Chad. He's swirling his magic gases and stuff. Police are there, fucking news station crews. They're all just pulling up there to Mysterio. Spider-Man's there, and everyone's like, there he is! And JJ's like, fucking get him, Mysterio! Because JJ's all in on Mysterio at this point. Even though he called him a fucking costume freak, hey, as long as he's gonna kill Spider-Man, I'm all for it. And Mysterio's like, I'm glad you're here, Spider-Man. This is where it all started. And Spider-Man's like, what the hell are you talking about? And Mysterio, he starts blasting, Chad. Starts blasting Mysterio. Spider-Man's like, what's that gonna blah? And it hits him, Chad. Well, that was real. The blast was real. And then Mysterio starts blasting the Brooklyn Bridge, chat, and all the rubble falls on top of Spider-Man. Fucking he falls in there, knocks him out, chat. Mysterio goes, well, that's done. Spider-Man is defeated. Goodbye, New York City. And then, chat, we cut to the next day. Peter, he fucking crawls out of the Hudson River, beating the shit, goes home. He's sleeping, chat. Not looking good. Sleeps until the next day. And then he gets a call, chat. He sees the new headline. Apparently, fucking Mysterio kills Spider-Man. Not good. And then he gets a call, and who is it, chat? It's Mary Jane Watts. He goes, hi, Peter. And he goes, oh, shit, I forgot about our date. She goes, yes, you did. And my rule, Mr. Parker, one strike and you're out. I never want to see you again. Click. And Peter's like, fuck, my life is terrible. I hate being Spider-Man. This is the worst. It's the absolute worst. Great power, great responsibility. It's all bullshit, chap. It's all bullshit. And he's like, you know what? Forget Spider-Man. I can't deal with this anymore. Fucking Terry Lee, she goes up to Peter. She stops at his house. She's like, hey, I wanted to talk to you about the webbing that I found. He's like, I want nothing to do with this. Fucking forget it. I want nothing. Terry Lee's like, well, you wanted to help me, and I gave you, listen, I didn't fucking arrest you when you were tampering with evidence. Can you help me? He's like, nope. I'm living a new life. It's all about Peter Parker. And she goes, you know, you should try to be more like Spider-Man, Peter. He goes out there and helps people, and I believe he's actually been framed. I think Mysterio is fucking bullshit, okay? He basically pulled a terrorist action on the Brooklyn Bridge, you know, when he attacked Spider-Man. But you should be more like him. I'm disappointed in you. And then she drives off, and Peter goes, fuck. Can I have anything? Can I? God damn it. Fine. Great power, great response. I'll get the costume. Pulls it on, chat. He swings to the NYPD headquarters, chat. And he meets, he's like, I heard Peter Parker told me that you need some help. She goes, yes, I do. Glad Peter fulfilled his obligations. He's a good kid, that Peter Parker. And Spider-Man goes, he has his moments. And then they're looking, chat. You know, like Spider-Man said, yeah, that's not my webbing. I don't know what the hell that is. And you know what? I've been doing some research on this Mysterio guy. Something doesn't add up. Something's weird, especially about his location, because they have a conversation, chat. Spider-Man's like, yeah, he told me to go to the Brooklyn Bridge. He told me this is where it all began. And Terry Lee goes, that's very specific. And she goes, okay, well, let's look in our police data bank of certain events that have taken place on the Brooklyn Bridge that have involved you. And she goes through all this stuff. Carjacking that you stopped, this thing, whatever. And then she says, fucking movie crew, an explosion, explosion went wrong and a chopper went down. He goes, that's the one, click on that. And then we have a flashback, chat, and we learned that they were filming an action movie, or Spider-Man calls them a chase movie. I don't know what a chase movie is, but that's what he calls them. One of the prop explosions, it was packed with too much explosives, chat, and it fucked up this helicopter, and it almost crashes and it's about to explode. But Spider-Man, he gets the pilot out of there to safety, and Spider-Man, for whatever reason, he's now a pyrotechnics expert, I guess. Listen, I know Peter Parker's smart, but he knows like all aspects of this. Oh, sure, okay, whatever. He goes up there and he is able to identify within seconds that this device was created with illegal materials. Someone's been fucking up. And apparently that person, chat, was Quentin Beck. Quentin Beck's like Spider-Man. He fucking runs off and Spider-Man, he webs him up. And they're reading this in the computer. Yeah, apparently Quentin Beck, pyrotechnic, an illusion expert, creates all the technologies, revolutionized Hollywood, Spider-Man. And he's like, that sounds like Mysterio. She goes, that does sound like Mysterio. And apparently he was released after doing a year in prison. And Spider-Man goes like, that's definitely him. That Quentin Beck is Mysterio. Mysterio's Quentin Beck. And she's like, yeah, apparently his current location is Wonderworld I think it's Wonderworld Studios, chat. We're going to go with Wonderworld. That's where he's living right now. Spider-Man's going, I'm heading over there. I'm going to head over there right now. But get him. Hey, if you can get me some backup, appreciate it. Let's go. She's like, I'll do that for you, Spider-Man. We're going to stop Mysterio tonight. Spider-Man goes, hell yeah. And they do like a high five. And then he swings over there, chat. Meanwhile, JJ, he's in his huge fucking limo. And he's like, let's do another story on how great Mysterio is and how much Spider-Man sucks. But then he gets a fax, chat. Gets a little fax. Remember fax, chat? Remember that was the thing? And he's reading this fax, and he reads like, oh, go to Wonderworld Studio to see the climactic battle between Mysterio and Spider-Man. I will do just that. Driver, take me to Wonderworld Studio. And they go there, chat. And Spider-Man, he's there. He gets there. He's the first one there. Terry Lee, she'll bring backup. Doesn't know that JJ's about to get there either. But he goes inside the studio, chat, and he finds certain things. Finds all these plans. Finds plans for the museum, plans for the mall, the Brooklyn Bridge, like all the schematics and shit. Finds a Spider-Man costume with suction cups on it, chat. That's what Mysterio did. He dressed up as Spider-Man, and he had suction cup hands and feet. And he finds these little boxes, chat, with the holograms. Is the hologram of the museum coming down the yellow brick road. It's like, this guy is fucking bullshit. He's framing me. It's because he blames me for his imprisonment, which technically is true. But he was being very selfish towards that guy he almost murdered. And then she goes into another room, and we got fucking Mysterio. He's like, yes, I am Quentin Beck. I'm seeking my revenge against you, Spider-Man, for ruining my life. And I'm going to ruin yours. And then he's sending out all sorts of creatures against Spider-Man, chat. Monsters, robots and shit, holograms, fucking Tyrannosaurus Rex, chat. Spider-Man goes like, oh, please don't be real. He fucking jumps into that goddamn thing, and he crawls out of its tummy, chat. Fucking just rips it open, but he falls through a precipice, chat, into, stay with me now, a spider's web. Falls into a spider web, chat, with two giant mechanical spiders just coming right at him. And, Mysterio's like, I'm going to kill you now. And Spider-Man's like, listen, this will not make it better, Mysterio. Quentin, you shouldn't do this. This is wrong. And he's like, yes, you know what? Funny enough, and the best line in the episode so far, chat. That's what my therapist always said, but I like this a lot more. I like killing you. And these spiders just coming at him. Oh, and just for an added bonus, Spider-Man, here's two delinquents that I've captured. And it's fucking Terry Lee, chat, and J. Jonah Jameson. Don't know why Mysterio did this. It didn't make any sense. Like, JJ was basically doing propaganda for him, making him like the new hero of New York City. I mean, I understand the murder of Terry Lee, but why JJ? That makes no sense. This is the part of the episode, like, this is dumb. This is just dumb. But anyway, Spider-Man goes like, shit. And he fires his web at Terry Lee's like, Terry Lee, can you hold on to that shit while I pull myself up? She goes, fuck yeah, Spider-Man. Pulls himself out of the web, chat. Mechanical spiders, they get all fucked up. They die. And then he goes up there, rescues JJ, and Terry Lee unties them, and Terry Lee's like, see, J. Jonah Jameson's Spider-Man was framed by Mysterio. And JJ's like, I don't give a fuck, he's a menace. I don't give a damn. Mysterio, he's a son of a bitch, but he's still a menace. And Spider-Man's like, I can't win. I can't win with him. Look, at least you have my back, Terry Lee. Thank you. Got a new ally in Spider-Man's war with the fake news media, chat. And Mysterio's like, fuck this. Then Mysterio creates like massive illusions of like many Mysterios with various like weapons and stuff. And he's like, hey, Spider-Man, which one am I? He's like, well, Mysterio, you don't know this, but I have spider sense, so it's that one. He just fucking goes, punch him right in the face, chat. Thrown all the way back, spine cracks, paralyzed from the waist down for the rest of his life. Helmet comes off. It is indeed Quentin Beck. They arrest him. It's a good time. The Bugle has to print a whole thing that Spider-Man did indeed save JJ. He was the hero in these circumstances. And Quentin Beck, Mysterio, he's been thrown in prison. And Spider-Man's like, well, at least one good thing happened. He's reading this Midtown college chat. And then who fucking brushes the paper aside? It's Mary Jane watching and goes, hey, Tiger. And he's like, Mary Jane, hi. And she goes, I felt like I was being a little harsh to you when I called you. I know things have been crazy with school and your job and the fact that your Aunt May is literally on death's door every other week. So I'm sorry. And he's like, you know what? I'm sorry I forgot our date. And she's like, don't worry about it. You want to walk me to class? And so he walks her to class, chat. They have a nice little exchange. And Peter's like, hey, do you want to go on that date? And Mary Jane goes, you know what, Tiger? I do want to go on that date. I do. And Spider-Man goes, yay. And that is Spider-Man the Animated Series, chat. Episode 5, The Menace of Mysterio. Spider-Man, Peter, he's going to get that day with MJ. Now, everything, despite the episode saying, like, what a shit life Peter has, he always comes out on top. And this proves it. So it was a very lovely episode, chat. I enjoyed myself.